Well, hello and welcome, my friends. How are we feeling tonight? Happy Feel Good Friday. We're doing the yin practice. Hello, hello, and welcome, everybody. I am back home. I am no longer traveling. I got home Sunday night from Boston because I was out there visiting Salem and just taking a little solo trip. But I'm back here in Vegas, and Betty is joining us. She is currently chewing on Chicky. So that's what's going on over here. How are you? How are you feeling? What can we do today to serve you? Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Yay. Well, you must be a first timer with me. Yes. If not, that's totally fine. The yin practice, maybe wonderful. Yay. Welcome. I love when new people come to me. So if anybody out there also is new to me and have never done yin, there are 3 things we really practice, we keep in mind in the yin practice. Remember, this practice is all about the soft tissues, getting into the soft tissues to keep them strong and flexible and pliable, because as we age, we start to lose the collagen, we start to lose that elasticity in our soft tissues, in our joints, ligaments. So by practicing this particular version of yoga, we are putting stress on the soft tissues. Yeah, right? It's like we get stuck. So this practice is going to keep us moving, right? We're going to keep everything nice and, I guess I like to say, juicy, so that, like, you know, it's moving, right? Nothing is getting stuck. So we apply pressure in various ways. So we either compress by pushing together, we pull apart, adding a little tension, and then we twist. But of course, always, you only go as deep as feels safe and comfortable for you and your body. Everybody's on a different journey. Everybody shows up to this practice with a different meat suit. So be, mindful, respectful of your meat suit, because it's the only one you get. And we need to take care of it. So that's what we're doing in this practice. And this is why this practice is so complementary. I'm like looking at my ring light. What happened? Felt like the light just kind of went wonky on me. This is why we do this practice, because it is a complement to life. Right? Life is very fast and hot and moving. Yin asks you to slow down, to pause, to pay attention. So yeah, a meat suit. Yeah, Cheryl, I can't take credit for that. That's another yoga teacher's term, and I just borrow it, and that's from Catherine Budig. She's big in the yoga world, or she was, 20 years ago. I don't know, but a lot of the yoga teachers I followed, I don't know what's going on in the yoga world much anymore. I don't pay attention. I don't get Yoga Journal any longer. So usually what I found out after about the 3rd year of Yoga Journal, it was the same thing over and over and over. And I'm like, I think I get it. I always like to ask you what's going on in your body, what area, if there's an area of your body you want to focus on. Remember, this is all floor-based. We do have 2 postures on the feet. Maybe we'll do them, maybe we won't, but it's usually a forward fold and a little malasana, a little yogi squat, which, are so beneficial for many reasons, both of those postures. And hips are always a focus. Absolutely, Cheryl. It always comes out. Hips, low back, right? Usually that's that. Neck, yep, absolutely, Lisa. Thank you very much. Hi, Lisa. Welcome, welcome. So I have, after coming home Sunday and picking up Betty from her dad's house, my ex-husband, I was just kind of like, I felt not great. And so this week has been a tough one. I mean, busy at work, but tough just personally, and so I took a moment today before practice. There's a little balcony behind me, and I have a little hammock that I purchased on Amazon about a month ago, almost maybe a month and a half. And so I set it up there, and I went out there with the intention just to kind of chill before practice. And some, very intrusive, not great thoughts started popping up as I started to just melt into my hammock. And Betty jumped up on there with me, and she was just, first time in the hammock, a little, what is this, Mom? This is weird. I don't know if I like it. Got her to calm down. And it was just so nice to be in the hammock with my dog, just steadily swinging back and forth. And the words that came to my mind were, thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment. Because there have been many moments this week that have just not been pleasant. And as I caught myself on that road of, not great thought patterns, I just stop myself and I'm thinking, I don't need to continue with this thought. It doesn't feel good. I don't like how it makes me feel. So I don't need to have that thought any longer. And I said that out loud as I was in the hammock. And then as I settled into the hammock and, swayed a little bit more with the dog, and then the words just kind of came to me, thank you for this moment, and then just being grateful, because I know when I have that, and I've been talking about it a lot lately, when we have the attitude of gratitude, it does attract more. So the power of the mind is not to be messed with. It is strong and powerful. So your thoughts create your reality. So there's my little yoga talk before we get started on practice. So the things we keep in mind as we practice: find the depth that fits you, right? So only go as deep as feels safe and comfortable. We want to feel some sensation. Remember, this is not restorative. You will feel something. And then we're going to hold still, and we're going to hold for time. Now, if I set the timer, and I do set my timer, and I let you know how long we're practicing that pose for, if you need to come out of it sooner, please do so. And then also have some props. Have some blankets, towels, bolsters, couch cushions, pillows, whatever you have. And then if you need like blocks, 2 like-size items, or maybe a couple of books that can stack up around the same height if we're going there. But I always like to have it handy. So let's go ahead and focus on the hips, the low back, the neck. Yeah? Does anybody have anything else? Does anybody have something I need to be mindful of? Any recent surgeries or injuries? Pregnancy, prenatal, postnatal, anything? Just put it in the chat. Or if there's anything else that comes up while we're practicing, please feel free to put it into the chat. Because if you are experiencing something, or if I wasn't clear, which I doubt, no, I'm kidding, sometimes I am unclear, but if for some reason I'm unclear, please ask questions, or, like, where am I supposed to feel this? Or is this right? I can't see you, unfortunately. That's just how this one works. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's find a comfortable seat. And then I have my notes with me. All right, so comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Good. A little Sukhasana, maybe easy pose, or maybe legs are extended, or maybe you're sitting on your shins, but I want you to find a seat that feels right for you. And then however you're taking it, I'm just moving naturally right now. I feel like I just need a couple of cats and cows in my back before I settle into a comfortable seat with my shoulders over my hips. I've been sitting a lot all day. The spa was kind of slow. So, I found things to do, but it wasn't particularly wellness busy today. So I was sitting for a good portion. So that feels really nice on my low back to get that kind of in there. So that's something you can also consider throwing into your day if you sit long or for a long period of time at your desk, at home, or at some workplace. Right? Okay, so shoulders over hips. And if it feels comfortable, please feel free to close your eyes and soften your jaw. And then you get to choose. If you have your palms up, maybe you feel like you're in receiving, you're receptive, or palms down if you feel like you need some grounding energy. Maybe you have the monkey mind jumping from thought to thought. And if it is, just place those palms down and ground yourself. Feel your hands on top of your knees, gently cupping around the knee joint. Maybe if palms are up, just gently run the thumb over the finger pads. And keeping an open heart, breathing here into your chest, into your belly. Slowly exhaling, pulling the navel towards your spine. And just continue with that smooth, even breath. Now, if Ujjayi makes sense to you and that's a part of your practice, feel free to engage with that breath. It's our victorious breath, that kind of throaty, Darth Vader sounding inhale and exhale through the nose. And if my little words helped you, or they might help you, I'm just going to say them again. Thank you for this moment. And maybe that's the phrase that repeats, or if you have a mantra of your own, or one word, maybe it's gratitude, or whatever it is, bring it to mind. And we'll be here for a few more cycles of breath, just settling in to our bodies before we come into some shapes. Next exhale, with your eyes open or closed, just gently bring your right ear to your right shoulder. We're just going to take some slow circles in one direction, bringing left ear, left shoulder, and then chin towards chest. So keep slowly rounding the head. The slower you go, the more you're going to feel. Right? Because you're really being mindful about the movement, really making that mind-body connection. So I'm just going to check in. Well, I don't want to call you out or anything, but if there's anybody that was joining me or that has joined me on Wednesdays for our trauma-sensitive practice, you're more than welcome to say, hey. But you don't have to, obviously. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. But if you joined me, or if you have been joining me for those Wednesdays, we have one more practice left this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. And if anybody would like those practices, those are on my other little pay thing. If you want, you can go over to my website and find the link to that if you're interested. All right, and then the next time your chin is at your chest, let's pause and reverse, go the other way. So left ear, left shoulder, rounding it back. Right ear, right shoulder. So if you have been joining me on those Wednesday evening practices, I've really been stressing that mind-body connection. So in this slow movement, the hopes is you can really pay attention to the sensations you're experiencing in your body at this moment. Thank you for this moment. All right, friends, bring your chin towards your chest. Slowly inhale, float your head up. Then just gently bring the shoulders towards your ears. And then exhale, slowly bring them back down. So just a couple more like that. Slowly inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders down the back. Two more. Inhale with the breath. Or inhale with your movement. Good. Exhale, release, soften. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release, soften them down your back. Good. All right. So right ear, right shoulder once again, but now we're going to come in for a hold. I'm going to time this one for 1 minute, just so we're a little bit more accurate with the time. All right. So staying here, this is one choice, right? This is how far you bring the head is your choice. And then another option here is to take that opposite arm, or the right arm, bring it around your head. And this adds a little bit more sensation, a little bit more weight to the side bend in the neck. And if that feels okay, you might choose to extend the left arm towards the ground, fingertips reaching. Breathing here. You're more than welcome at any time to take one variation away, whatever that is, or stay with it. But whatever you do, just keep breathing. Good. Slowly release. Inhale, float your head up. Turn it side to side slowly. Right, and just notice what you're feeling. Notice the sensations. Where are they happening in your body? Right, if you want to switch the crossing of your shins, you can do that. If it feels like you've been here for a little too long and they're starting to get a little crampy, just switch the crossing of your shins. Stay for the inhale, and then exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Again, you're more than welcome just to stay right here. If you know your limitations, you know your body, you're like, yeah, this is it. This is good. I'm feeling something here. And then breathe into that space. Create some space. You can even bring your other hand and just give it a few little movements down, kind of moving the lymph, right? I love detoxing. Anything I can do to naturally detox my body. Yes, I know that and if you want to add any variation, you may, opposite arm overhead and then other arm extended. I know that the liver does things naturally. We have a whole system for detoxification or lymph, but I like to do anything that I can to help support that. So either it's like drinking certain teas and eating certain kinds of foods, drinking my water, detoxing the body through, sauna, infrared sauna, things like that. Anything I can do to support my body for its natural practices, right? Natural things. All right, carefully release those hands. Again, inhale, float your head up. Gentle turn of your head both ways. All right, and it doesn't have to be the full range of motion. You can keep that a little smaller if you wish. Good. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and come down if we're sitting on anything. And let's come into a butterfly. I love this one. We do this frequently, but there's a reason why I'm gonna do it in this order. We're gonna do butterfly, and then we're gonna do something a little bit more to get into the hips and to the low back. So if you choose, you may use a bolster underneath the thighs, give a little support, or you can choose to use nothing, but soles of the feet come together, and they don't have to be super close into the body. They can extend away from your body. And then another choice here, depending how you're feeling. We're gonna be here for 4 minutes. So I want you to just kind of slowly ease your way into the shape. If you want, you can release your head down. This is where we can add some props. If there is anything going on with the head and it just does not feel good to let it free hang like that, you can take a block or blankets, towels, whatever you have, and you can support your head. So you're still coming into that fold, you're still getting the benefits for the low back, the hips, and the spine, but you're also supporting your head so you don't cause further injury, okay? Because of course that's not the focus of our practice is to heal the body, not to harm. So you find whatever you need for this shape so you can be here for that 4 minutes. And breathe. How's the breath? Are we holding it, or are we being mindful? Just kind of what I mentioned before about like what we're doing to the body. We're taking a forward fold, so we're compressing the front body, but in the back, we are pulling apart, right? So we're adding some tension there when we come into this fold. Just different ways in which we're moving and holding this shape. Soften through your jaw. Relax your forehead, your eyes, maybe even close them. These are all choices that make this practice very unique and individual to ourselves, to our bodies today. Slowly inhale and roll all the way up. Move any supports carefully out of the way. Okay. And then if you want to take some movement, feel free to come over to hands and knees, take some cats and cows, or maybe it's some windshield wipers. But make this movement very, unique, make it very organic to what you're feeling and where you're feeling sensation. Right, so for me, I really kind of went into my low back and I feel like I need some cats and cows. So just some more extension and flexion of the spine. But maybe you're feeling it more in your hips. So maybe you take windshield wipers, keep those feet about as wide as your yoga mat, and then just sway the knees side to side. As you're sitting in a seated position, not on hands and knees. That'd be like literally impossible. I mean, you could do it, but it's not going to get to what you need it to get to. How are we doing, everybody? So far, so good? Any more people jump on that need some things, any issues, anything? What are the issues in your tissues? What can we address? Anything? Hi. Oh, good. I got some hearts. Okay, it looks like we're feeling good. All right, friends. All right, we got 52 of you tonight. Right on. I love it. Okay, we're going to get a little bit more into the hips and to the low back. So we will also take a little twist. So you might want some blocks or some props for the elbows when we come into that. Period pain. Mel, the one we just did should also support what we just, for that as well, for sure. Like that butterfly is my go-to for period pain, for any kind of menstrual stuff. And that not only works for women who still have their cycles, but it's any woman with a uterus and men with prostates. The butterfly posture is wonderful for men and women, right? It's good to support that sacral, right? That sacral region. Okay, here we go. Let's get into our next shape. Good, Mel. I'm glad that started to help you. This one's going to help you too, because it's going to get into the hips. But use whatever supports you need. We're going to take the legs out wide into our dragonfly. Sorry, Mom, I'm going to move you just a smidge. Okay. All right, so you're going to take the legs wide. Let the knees be soft. So let the feet roll open. It doesn't, this is not our, our vinyasa to hatha class where we need to have everything engaged. No, I want you to let the feet go and let the feet roll over to the sides. And then this is where you're going to take your block or whatever support you're using. You can even use your own leg if you wanted to. You also may bring the elbow down to the floor if that suits you as well. But, we don't need to go deep. If you're not going super deep, then use the support under the elbow. And we're going to come into a twist here. I just want to time it again. We're going to do 2 minutes on each side. All right. And then you can take this block or whatever support you have bump it up higher. You can use your hand to support your head, and then this other arm can just kind of be here on the leg. You can bring it around your low back, or the option to bring it on top of your head as well. Now, if it feels okay and you don't want to support the head, you don't have to, but I highly encourage it. I think it feels so much better. And, you know, it allows me to stay in the shape longer. If I did not have my elbow on the block and my hand supporting it, I would not want to be in this pose for very long. But because of the supports, that's what they do, right? We can be in the poses longer. We can access different parts of the body better with props sometimes. So props are definitely your friends. They're definitely your friends. So just think about what we're doing here, right? We're compressing one side, but opening up, right? Creating some space in the other. And that's why we do both sides, right? For that balance. You open up one side, other side was compressed, and then we flip it. We do it the other way too. And maybe you notice you're like, oh, this is feeling okay. Maybe I can go a little lower. So you do. So maybe you do. And maybe you don't. Again, these are all choices and good options for you. How's the breath? All right, my friends, carefully use your hands to support yourself. Come up out of the shape. And then we're going to bring it right over to the other side. So when you're ready, take an inhale. And then exhale, come over into that little side bend. You don't need to come way far out if that doesn't feel right. I still want your hips nice and grounded. So stay there, nice and steady. And then maybe you choose to use your hand to support your head. And then again, decide where the other arm's gonna go. Just let it rest lightly on the leg or on the floor in front of you, or maybe it's wrapping around your low back. Or the last option is to bring it on top of your head. If the shoulders are starting to get aggravated, if it's like causing severe shoulder pain, release. You got your chickie? You got your chickie? You chewing on chickie butt? You are, you're chewing on chickie butt. Keep breathing. All right, friends, release your hands and arms. Inhale, slowly come up. All right. How are we doing? I see a little comment that popped up. I'm just gonna come over really quick. Hi, Nancy. Your two dogs are there with you on the mat. I love it. Yep, Betty is just here chewing away on chickie butt. Yeah, you know, sometimes she's in the frame with me, and sometimes she's not. All right, so we did some side bends, right? One on each side. Now we're just going to come forward into a forward fold. Again, use what you have, use what feels right. You can take a blanket on the blocks to soften it for the head. You can bring a bolster, but get creative with your props to support you in the way that you need so that you can stay in the pose. So the other forward fold we did for 4 minutes. This one we're only going to stay for 3. So as you are ready, come into that fold. Remember, it doesn't need to be very deep, but just notice where you're feeling the sensation as you come into this shape. Maybe the yoga blocks or whatever your supports are, there maybe it's stacked very high, and then maybe you just start to slowly release, and maybe you can get a little lower with the forehead. Keep softening through your jaw, your forehead. Just notice, even if you're holding any tension in your hands and your fingers, can you let it go? Betty girl, do you mind? My friends, slowly begin to walk your hands back. Inhale, roll up. Those forward folds are just so delicious. I love them. Really allows me to just get into the shape, right? We're just kind of going inward, folding in towards the body, kind of, excuse me, kind of taking everything out of our vision, our gaze, and then we go inward and we're less distracted. That's why those are so wonderful. Okay. I'm still getting into the low back. We're going to keep getting into the low back and the hips tonight. So next one, let's come down onto one side. I'm going to come down onto my left side. So cat pulling its tail. Kind of that same thing we did. We were supporting the head with our hand. Bring that top right leg forward. And it's just going to rest on the floor. You're going to take that right hand, bend the left knee, grab the foot. Maybe you can grab the foot. Maybe you're taking a blanket or a towel or even a belt, a strap, and wrapping it around the ankle, and you can hold it like that. If it's just impossible to reach for the foot. We're going to come into this shape for What time is it? Where are we? Okay, let's take this pose for 3 minutes. So a nice twist here, but you get to control how much twist you have in it. Now you can stay right here, or maybe you slowly, slowly, slowly bring that right shoulder towards the ground. Obviously, when you do that, the hand will release away from the head, and then you can move that top straight leg anywhere you like. So again, we're doing a rotation. We're twisting the spine now. You get to use the floor as part of the prop. Now, if the shoulder doesn't come all the way down, that's okay. The idea is to get both shoulders on the floor. So notice where you're feeling it. I'm feeling it right in my low back and my sacrum. And maybe if I move this leg, I can feel it other places. Keep breathing. Keep releasing that back. Just kind of notice where you're tensing up. Right? Just pay attention. I'm like, oh, can I soften through that area? Can I release and let go a little bit more with my exhale? Because in this practice, we're not using our muscles. This is all about getting into the soft tissues. So not engaging any of our main muscle groups when we come into these shapes. It's literally just allowing the body to roll kind of, into that shape. All right. Carefully release that foot. Come back to your side, bring the knees in, and just pause. Let the knees kind of stack on top of each other. Kind of reset your hips. Good. And then when you're ready, maybe you roll to your back. We are going to the other side, of course. But if you want to roll to your back, maybe hug the knees in a little bit. Give them a little rock side to side. That might feel really good. We have been doing a lot of low back stuff. So take care of your body. Take care of your meat suit. You notice you need a little movement. Go ahead and take the movement. Because there is a little bit of movement in our yin practice, right? All right, friends, as you're ready, let's come onto the other side, right side. Right hand supporting the head. Top left leg comes forward. Gently bend that bottom right knee. Grab the foot with the left hand, or maybe use a strap in the left hand. I'll set my timer again once more. 3 minutes. Like I said at the beginning of practice, if you feel like you need to come out sooner, then do so. Once you've held it for how long you can hold it, then you come out. That's why this is an all levels practice. You get to decide how long you stay in it. And then if maybe you stay here, or maybe you slowly release and let that left shoulder drop down. always the choice to adjust this left leg, bring it up, bring it down, whatever makes sense to you. Maybe when you do that, you feel a little bit more in the legs now. So if you want to get a little stretch in the legs, you can do that as well. You can even, I mean, if it's plausible, if it makes sense and plausible, maybe you grab the toe from that leg. Doesn't need to be super straight. Remember, you can bend it. And that just adds another layer onto this shape for you. Just keep breathing, keep releasing and softening through your body. Taking this nice, full, deep breaths. All right, my friends, carefully release that foot and bring those knees in together. Just let them be stacked on one another and pause. There's no rush. Okay, how's Chicky doing? Chicky tastes delicious or what? Sometimes my dog gets a little obsessive. Does yours too? You're just a little obsessed pup. I know. All right, friends. So slowly come up. Take some movement, whatever that is going to look like for you. Maybe you're like, you know what? Cats and cows seemed, sound great. Or maybe I need a down dog. But whatever it is, go for it. You have a few moments of movement before we come down back to a little shoelace. Get into the hips and the low back once more. All right, friends. We're almost there. We're doing great. How are we feeling? My low back is getting very happy. Feels like it's been a long last 3 days. I feel like I was at the spa nonstop. Not complaining. I worked a double yesterday, so it felt like, I really didn't do anything else except for be at the spa yesterday, so it was good. It was great. Okay, how we doing? I see some comments popping through. Right on. You feel way less bloated. I love that, Mel. Yeah, just those twists, just kind of wringing you out. I love it. Cheryl, thanks for the feedback. Mucho apreciado. Okay, let's come into our shoelace or half shoelace. So half shoelace, if the knees are just, a little sensitive, let's be mindful about them. Doesn't matter which way you start, because we're going to go both ways. I'm going to start with my right knee on top of my left. You can do it like this. This is what we call our full shoelace. It also looks like cow face legs. So we call it something different in Yin because there's a different intention, right? Okay, now if the knees are not feeling super great, you're going to take one leg straight and then cross that other ankle above the knee or below it, just not on top of the knee joint. This is what we call half shoelace. Okay, so take your pick, whatever's gonna serve you best today. Oh, hello, Helen, welcome. She's from Brazil. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so here we go into our shoelace or half shoelace. If you're coming into full shoelace, just feel even on both sitting bones. You don't want to be teetering or tottering over to one side. I'm already feeling it, and we haven't even started the clock. Okay, 2 minutes here. This is the choice. You can stay upright, or maybe you slowly, slowly, slowly come forward. For me, when I come forward, I can feel a lot more happening on the back side, on my back body. So you pay attention. Where are you feeling it? Maybe you walk your hands over to one side. Maybe you stay there for a few breaths, and then you walk over to the other side. Just kind of exploring the shape. But if you choose to do some exploring, just hold for a few breaths, right? We're trying to stay as still as possible. Stay for another breath here before you come up. And then slowly inhale, come out of your shoelace or half shoelace, unwind your legs, give them a little shake, a little movement, and then we'll go to the other side. All right, again, evening out your sitting bones, feeling nice and balanced, so you don't feel like one side has more weight than the other. Good. So if you're taking that half shoelace, that right leg is straight, left knee crossing the ankle either above or below the knee, just not right on top. We want to protect the knee joints. We want to protect all of the soft tissues. So that's why certain things about alignment are important for the most part, right, when we practice. But in Yin, there aren't really alignment principles because each body is a little different. Some of us are a little tighter, some of us have a little bit more stretch and give. So that's why this practice is so unique. If we were all in a room, and I say this pretty frequently, if we were all in the same space, even though we're in the same shape, we're all going to look a little bit different. But I love that. And even when I go and I teach public classes and I'm teaching a vinyasa or I'm teaching yin or a restorative practice, everybody does look a little bit different, and I'm so happy for that because I remember being in other classes and I wasn't teaching it, I was in it, so I couldn't really observe too many people, but it really looked like so many people were struggling to do and execute, right, the posture that the teacher gave, to the full, what we call the full expression, right? Well, the full expression is your pose, whatever that is for you today, right? So it could look different tomorrow. It may look different in 6 months. But wherever you are in your body today and what you're feeling, that's the pose for you, right? It's no comparison. This is why yoga is so amazing for me, because like I have never been a competitive person at all in my life. I'm like, if you want to knock your socks off and like knock out a marathon in 3 hours, like go for it. Like I'm just, and really it is about comparing ourselves, even on our own journey. Sometimes we're in different spaces, in different parts of our life. So it's hard to compare myself now with when I was 20, right? It's like light years difference, different person, right? Different, hadn't experienced everything yet or many things yet. So all we can do is just improve and do better. That's it, every day. All right, I talked our 2 minutes the whole time. All right, slowly inhale, come up and out. Carefully unwind the legs. Find your way back onto your backs and draw the knees in as well. And just give yourself a little rock. Just kind of think you're rocking from one side of the hips to the other side. And maybe you take it into a happy baby. So take those feet up towards the sky, grabbing the outside edges of your feet, or giving a little hook around the toe, the big toes, if that suits you better, or grabbing onto the backs of the thighs or shins, whatever you can reach. If the feet are not attainable, that is okay. There are other things you can grab. And again, maybe you rock your baby a little side to side, getting a little bit more into the hips. Good. Drawing the knees back together. We already did a twist, but we're going to take it just into a very easy, gentle twist. Bring both knees over to the right. Left arm extends out to the side, shoulder grounded. The shoulder doesn't ground, then just come out of the twist a little bit. Use a block or a towel or something to support your legs, because we definitely want the shoulders on the floor. All right, very carefully inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, bring them over to the other side. Good. Now, right arm out to the side, right shoulder planted and grounded. Support the knees if you need to. You're coming out of that twist a little bit to accommodate the shoulder. And just breathe about 5 cycles of breath right here. All right, very gently inhale, bring the knees in. Good. If you want to give them one last hug before you come down onto your back, we're going to come into our final shape, into Shavasana, just for a few brief moments. So settle yourself, arrange yourself on your mat. Let the feet be wide and let the toes roll open. And then gently rock your head so you feel like you're on the flat part of your skull and you're looking directly at your ceiling. You can place the palms face up, or maybe again, bring them to the belly for grounding. Soften through your face, your eyebrows, your jaw, your tongue, your throat. Take a nice breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. 2 more, just like that. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, release. 1 last time. Inhale. Open mouth, release. Just release for a few more moments, knowing you've done the best practice you could today, right? You gave your effort. You're feeling it all in your tissues now. So now we're just allowing all of those benefits of the shapes to integrate into our nervous system. So we are in our parasympathetic nervous system of rest, digest, heal. Maybe thank you for this moment pops into your mind. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment. All right, my friends, begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement to your fingers and to your toes. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Bend one knee at a time, roll over to one side, and just pause there for a moment. Baby girl, did you have a good yoga practice too? You chewing on your little chickie? Yeah, your chickie baby. All right, friends, let us meet in a comfortable seat and we will close our practice. Your donations are always greatly appreciated and accepted. If you are operating from an Apple phone or like a MacBook and you want to make a donation, go to my regular page on Insight Timer to make the donation. Otherwise, if you have an Android or something else, you're good to go. But they take a wicked amount of like a 30% cut if you're donating from either like an like an iPhone or a Mac. So that stinks. It stinks, right? But I get it. You gotta pay Paul to, I don't know. You gotta pay somebody. Somebody's gotta pay, right? But if you'd like to donate after the practice, you're more than welcome to do so. And you can also do it, like I have my other links on that link tree as well, if you want to donate on there too. All right, so on your inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm just going to pop over here real quick and see how you're feeling. Yes. Thank you so very much, Mel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's okay. No worries. Thank you, Sarah, very much. Oh, we have 100. Oh, wonderful. We grew. Beautiful. Namaste, Sarah. Thank you, thank you. Good, we're feeling good. All right, friends, thank you so much for your time and your energy and trusting me to guide you. I will be teaching again Sunday morning at 9 a.m. It'll be a hatha practice. If you choose, like, you know, depending on who shows up, just like this practice, who shows up, and if we want to do some vinyasa, then we can do some vinyasa, like slow flow. That's usually how I like to teach it. So yeah, it'll be fun. We'll do it 9 a.m. and then Wednesday will be the final practice for that trauma sensitive yoga for sexual abuse survivors. That'll be the last practice. And if you missed any of them and you want to watch them, you will have to pay to play, my friend. So it's on the Patreon, the other thing that I have linked on here. If you go to my link tree, you can follow me on there, or you can, you know, sign up for my newsletter, which reminds me it's getting to the end of the month and I need to do a new newsletter. So that's coming forth, I'm sure. Yes. Best way to donate, again, on this page. If you go to my page on here, right? How do you find the link tree? Yeah. So if you go to my page on here on Insight Timer, if you start to follow me and you go to that page, there is a website, Nouveau Hippie Holistic. I'll type that in there. If you want to just go straight to the website, you can do that. I'm not going to put in all the www dot because it doesn't translate over, I guess, Insight Timer. So this is my website, and my link tree is on there with all of the things, like all of the socials, all of the ways to pay, that kind of good stuff. So if you do www.nouveauhippieholistics.com, that is my website. But it's also on this page too. If you go to my Insight Timer page, I do have my regular website linked to it as well. And then on my website is my link tree at the very top. I try to make things simple. I really, really try. I do. Okay, my friends, I will see you Sunday at 9 a.m. and then next Wednesday, 5 p.m. for the sexual abuse trauma sensitive yoga practice. And then next Friday, I'm planning on hosting again. Sunday, probably not, as my best friend will be in town. We're going to go see Tears for Fears. I'm super, super excited because, like, aren't they just the best? And they actually came out with a new album too, and it sounds pretty good. And they still sound pretty amazing, so I'm super stoked about that. I'm an 80s chick, so I love 80s music. So yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait. Yeah, my bestie and I, we love our 80s music, so we're very excited about it. They're playing on the 30th at Fountain Blue, and then on the 2nd, I think the 1st and the 2nd, so next Friday and next Saturday at Fountain Blue. They're just not playing on Halloween. So anyway, but Halloween is coming, so I'm very excited about that. And next Saturday is my favorite holiday, Day of the Dead, one of my favorite holidays to celebrate. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining. I will see you next time. Sending you much love. Do these work anymore? I know the thumbs up work, right? The thumbs up, we're working. Hearts, the okays. Maybe they're not working anymore. I don't know what happened to the platform. Okay, friends, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.